Namaste and welcome. Thank you for coming to practice tonight. It's always lovely to share the practice with you. We're in class 5 of this 6-part series of the foundations of Hatha, and tonight we're going to be exploring some foundational forward bends and back bends. And when we're practicing our forward bends, it's more turning within, pratyahara, kind of withdrawing the senses, closing off and surrendering. When we're practicing our back bends, it's a little bit more opposite. So a little bit more solar energy, opening, energizing. So the two complement each other really well in an anatomical sense, in that they can offer sort of counter positions for one another, but then also energetically, they're nice to practice together because they give you that hatha, lunar solar kind of experience, and effort and surrender experience that we have been exploring throughout this series. So please make yourself comfortable, have your props handy, and let's get started. If you like, you can close your eyes or at least take your time to settle in. And if you feel naturally at some point ready to close your eyes, please do so. And dropping out of your external environment at this point, and seeing if you can drop down away from the activity of your mind, settle into your body, settling into awareness of your breath. And if you've had a bit of a busy day or your mind has been active, and just giving yourself the opportunity to consciously take a break from everything that's on your plate. And if your mind starts to wander throughout your practice, just bringing it back to the sensations in your body and the anchor of your breath. Sitting up nice and tall with your shoulders relaxed down away from your ears. And starting to consciously breathe nice, complete breaths, inhaling fully and exhaling completely. Finding your own rhythm. Inhaling to draw the breath all the way down to the lower lobes of your lungs. And exhaling, feeling your breath leaving your lungs and gently contracting through your belly to help release any last bits of air. Taking 2 more complete breaths in this way. And taking one hand to your belly and one hand over your heart center. And we'll take 5 rounds of Gauranga breathing. So as we inhale, silently drawing the sound Gauranga into our mind. And as we exhale, saying the sound out loud for the entire length of our exhalation. Let's exhale completely to sync our breath. Breathing in. Say the sound. Gauranga. Continuing on, inhale. Gauranga. keep going. Goranga. Goranga. One last time. Goranga. Coming back to your regular breathing pattern and lowering your hands to your lap, allowing the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. And opening your eyes, and we'll come over onto all fours into cat cow, stacking your shoulders above your wrists and your hips above your knees, spreading your fingers and thumbs nice and wide. Your palms are actively pressing into the floor. From a neutral spine, inhale to drop the belly and tilt the pelvis forward, looking forward. Exhaling, drawing your chin in toward your chest, tucking the tailbone, drawing up through the belly. So you don't have to go into full extension to begin, just slowly and gradually building up, warming up through the spine. And really starting to coordinate your breath with your movement to set the tone and rhythm for the rest of your practice. And of course, we're getting a nice warm up of both forward and backward bending here, flexion and extension. Let's do one more each way. And come back to neutral spine. And because we're going to be working so much with the spine throughout the practice today, we're going to do a little bit of proprioceptive work. So this is not in any way to look a certain way or feel a certain way. This is to help you connect with the anatomy of your spine and the sensations and feeling of moving your spine. So visualizing your vertebra stacked on top of one another, and then creating just a loose visualization of the spine, the musculature that runs up and down your spinal column. And we're going to go into wave-like motions through the spine, however that looks for you. So it might be a vertical wave-like motion, or it might be slightly rotational with a bit of up and back movement. Totally up to you, and you can bring your shoulders into it as well, but trying to keep your main focus on your spine and keeping your breath flowing up and down your spine if you can. So we'll just take about 4 or 5 breaths, moving through the spine, getting lots of mobilization through the vertebra and having that mind-body connection. And especially taking a little bit of time to move through your upper back or thoracic area. Good. One more breath. And now taking your hands forward just enough to set yourself up for downward dog, tucking your toes under and lifting through the hips. Begin to lift and lower your heels, alternating from side to side, warming up through the backs of the legs. We're not going to settle into downward dog here. We're just doing a mini warm up before moving into sun salutes. Now taking your feet forward to meet your hands. Hands are hip distance apart. Feet are hip distance apart, and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, coming up to stand. Finding yourself at the top of your mat in mountain pose. Take a breath here. Now we'll begin 3 cycles of sun salutations. Inhale, raising the arms up, bringing the palms together, looking to the thumbs, feeling your spine lengthening. Exhaling, folding forward, hands to the floor or hands to your shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step your plank. Lowering down, exhaling. Inhale into cobra or upward dog. Exhale, lifting back into downward dog. Taking 3 breaths here. One more breath. Exhale completely, then jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, bringing the palms together. Exhale, arms by your sides. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, scooping in through your belly and long through your spine. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank, and lower down into chaturanga. Inhaling into upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, lifting back into downward dog. And taking 3 breaths. Exhale completely, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Last round. Inhale, raise the arms, look to the thumbs. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Holding for 3 breaths. Exhale completely and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms by sides. Take a breath. Bringing your hands to your hips. Jump your feet, if they're not already, to hip distance apart. Feeling the top of your pelvis lengthen through your spine. Exhale, folding forward. Soft bend through the knees if needed. And lower your hands to the floor. Taking your first 2 fingers around your big toes. Inhale, look forward. So you're lifting your heart center forward. And if this is too strong, taking a belt around the soles of your feet and then holding on to the ends of the belt. And exhale, folding in. Moving with your breath. Inhale, look forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bending through the elbows, drawing the upper body in toward the thighs. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale. Exhale, fold. 2 more in your own breath rhythm. Now folding in, and we're going to hold this standing forward fold position. Modify as needed. So if it's getting too strong through the legs, you can crack through the knees at any time, or you can release and just go into a passive forward fold with your palms turned up and the backs of your hands resting on the floor. Firming through your thighs to help soften and release through the hamstrings, scooping in through your belly, and then using this grip of your toes or behind the calf muscles to inhale, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, very gently draw in. So, working with your breath, even though you're holding a static position, you've got that tiny little ebb and flow that happens with your breath. One more breath here. Releasing your hands, hands to your hips, and reverse one dive up, coming back up to stand. Taking your hands by your sides, a couple of breaths here, just allowing everything to balance out again. Raising your hands back to rest on the tops of your hips again. We'll step the right foot back, preparing for pyramid pose. So just play around with your stance to begin, where your feet are hip distance apart and your feet start facing forward, and then you can turn the back toes out slightly. And with the hands placed on top of the hip, you've got a little bit of a gauge of feeling rotation or tipping of the pelvis. We really want to keep the hips facing forward, lengthening through your spine as we fold over that front leg. So coming into a forward fold with a strong hamstring stretch. Anytime that gets too strong, just bring a soft bend into the knee. Up to you if you just want to place hands on the floor or hands in front, or if you're familiar with prayer hands behind the back and you feel up to that kind of a challenge, you can go ahead and fold forward over the front leg. So whenever you're ready, folding forward, holding the position. We'll stay here for about 5 breaths before we switch to the opposite side. Keeping that back heel pressing down, strong through the feet. Good. Hands to the hips. Press down through the feet. Lift all the way back up to standing. And we'll swivel around to the other side now. So you're just changing direction, turning toward the opposite end of your mat. And grounding down through your feet, checking that back foot is turned out just slightly so that it's comfortable for your hips. Then hands to the top of your pelvis as you fold forward, staying long through your spine, hinging at the hips, and then coming forward into pyramid. Staying here for another 4 breaths. Pressing down strongly into the feet and feeling that energy drawing up from your feet through the legs into the hips, lengthening into your spine, into the crown of your head. And press down into the feet to come up. Swiveling around to the top of your mat. And step your back foot forward. Take a breath. Let's find our way down to the floor. You can come down to sit, or you can flow down to sit if you like. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back into plank position. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Taking one breath in, downward dog. And finding your way down into seated forward fold. Legs are outstretched. Feel free to take a belt around the soles of your feet. So a modified version would be to take a belt around the soles of your feet, holding the belt. A variation, so something that gives you a little bit more of a challenge, would be to take a block to the soles of the feet so that you're reaching just a little further and holding around the edge of the block. Inhale, lift and lengthen, starting with this foundation of our legs. Thighs are switched on, and that's going to help relax into the hamstrings so that you can go into a deeper stretch. And we'll take that same action of fingers around the big toes or belt or holding the shins. And we'll inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale to fold. Inhale, lift. Exhaling to fold. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Moving with your breath. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. And then moving into a held forward fold, surrendering forward. So even though you're surrendering into your breath and you're softening into the forward fold, you're still keeping your legs nice and active with your toes flexing back toward you. Softening into your face. And working with your body and your mind to allow your body to move softly and a little deeper into the pose. So the more you soften into your mind, the more your body starts to relax, the more that stretch reflex disarms, and you might find that you're naturally able to shift a little deeper into the pose. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Releasing your hands, taking your time to press yourself back up. Shake out a little bit. And taking our legs out wide. Going into a seated wide-legged forward fold. Straddling the legs. If you'd like to have a bolster to fold forward into, please make that available to yourself, or a block to rest your head on. And we'll take the hands to the top of the hips just to get that proprioceptive awareness of the hips tilting forward. So hands to the hips and fold, 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 feeling your whole upper body, your back folding forward. And when you've reached a comfortable stretch, then taking your hands forward and beginning to slowly and steadily move deeper into the pose. So it's natural for our stretch reflex to inhibit a little bit of the movement as we get started in the pose, but just give it time. The more you relax, the more you'll feel naturally able to drop a little deeper into the pose. So it's good to just take your time, no expectations, and just responding to the shifts and changes in the sensations in your hips and groins. And settling into a comfortable position with your head or your hands, however you've got yourself propped up. And once you're in position, you can just play with gently tilting your pelvis forward to increase the stretch and taking your toes back. So your pelvis is tilting forward and then your thighs, your legs are rolling back. We'll stay here for a few more breaths, but this is your practice. If you want to come out sooner, please go ahead. And taking your time to slowly press yourself up. Coming into an upright position and then taking your hands under your knees and bringing your legs together. Giving yourself a little hug, relaxing into the hips. And then coming over onto our knees. We're going to move into puppy pose now, which has a forward fold at the hips and then a back bend or extension through the spine. So it's kind of like a two for one kind of a posture. If you would like to have a prop to help you gradually move into the pose, you can take a bolster underneath your chest and then slowly move the bolster away or just keep it there. I'm going to do that. Stacking your hips above your knees and coming into like you're setting yourself up in a tabletop position. And with this pose, it's really easy to walk your hands away and start to move the body forward, and your hips start to come forward as you drop down into the pose. So let's anchor our hips back and then start walking our hands forward and allow our hips to naturally start to stack above the knees. Sorry, my mic mutes when I lean on something. So, taking your time and keep your forearms resting on the floor to begin so that you can feel into the alignment through your spine and your hips. And then we'll open up through the palms and begin to drop down, heart center toward the floor, feeling your shoulders going into a deep stretch. Always maintaining what feels like an appropriate kind of safety or tension through your shoulders. So you can completely let go if that feels safe for you. But if you're feeling like, ooh, that's a little deep, you can press down into your palms and press into your forearms to create just enough tension through the shoulders to keep you from hyperextending. All right. So wherever you are, just starting to really drop in, reaching back into the hips and simultaneously dropping down into the chest, the shoulders, and reaching forward into the fingertips. And creating, or if you can, creating an internal softening mentally and allowing that to trickle down into your tissues. Softening through your belly. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Begin to make your way up out of the pose by pressing into your palms, pressing into your forearms, feeling your chest lift, and then start to slowly walk your hands back, forearms back, prop yourself up for a moment, and then gradually drop the hips back to come into our next forward fold, child's pose, which is a beautiful counter pose for puppy. Taking your hips to your heels, bringing your thighs together, and laying your belly over your thighs, forehead to the floor, arms down alongside your legs. Now everything to soften and release. And we'll stay here for about 5 to 8 breaths. And feeling that natural expansion of your belly against your thighs as you breathe in. And feeling it gently draw away from your thighs as you breathe out. One more breath here. Slowly press yourself up. Coming to sit on your heels, taking a couple of breaths here. Noticing the beautiful internalizing effect of forward folds. Okay. Walking your hands forward, coming back down onto your belly. So we'll come into Sphinx with our forearms on the mat, elbows nestled underneath our shoulders, spreading your fingers and thumbs wide. And your feet are hip distance apart, and just start with a nice relaxed lower body. And we'll begin to slowly engage from one body part at a time. So start by pressing your palms into the floor, press your forearms down, lift and open through the chest as you gaze forward. Shoulders pressed down away from your ears, and then begin to gently draw in through the belly, activating through the glutes and thighs, and then reaching back into your toes. Feeling this gentle activation through the whole back of the body, broadening through your collarbones, softening into your face. Staying here for a few more breaths. Being patient with each breath. One more inhale and exhale. Relax your legs, relax your buttocks, stacking your forearms on top of one another, and turn your head to the side and rest. Okay. And bringing your head back to center, moving into Shalabhasana, locust pose, which is a full spine extension, and nice and strengthening for the entire back of the body. We'll start by raising the legs up Feet can naturally come apart, so just however they feel comfortable. And then start to raise the arms up alongside your body, opening your palms, stretching back into your fingertips, shoulders down away from your ears, and peel your chest up off the floor. See if you can lift the legs and the upper body a little higher, holding here for a couple more breaths. And lower down. Stack your forearms and turn your head to the other side now. And let's do that one more time. This time, visualizing your spine, visualizing your muscle activations up and down your spine. And if you can, creating a visual of your breath flowing up and down your spinal column. Inhale, lifting up, lifting through the legs and arms. If it's too strong with the arms up, just taking your hands out in front, palms to the floor or down alongside you. Keeping your breath flowing as best you can. One more full breath. And lower down. Stack your forearms, head on your forearms, and gently rock your hips from side to side. Resting for a couple of breaths. And rolling over onto your back. We'll now move through bridge pose and into wheel. And if wheel feels like it's too much today, you can just repeat bridge pose. All right, bringing the soles of your feet to the floor, heels in toward your hips, arms down alongside your body with your palms down. So your foundation is pressing down into the soles of your feet, pressing down into your forearms. And you'll feel as you start to lift through the hips, you'll feel that weight of gravity bearing down onto your shoulders. And from there, we're going to clasp the hands together and feel your shoulder blades move in towards each other, creating this nice balance and integrity from your feet, your arms, your shoulders, and then lifting through the upper body. So let's start with our hands to the floor. Gently tuck the tailbone, lifting up, raising one vertebra at a time up off the floor. Pressing down into the forearms, pressing down into your feet. Feeling your chest move in toward your chin. Interlocking your hands underneath you. And roll into the tops of your shoulders so that your shoulder blades can squeeze together, giving you a little bit more height in your upper body. Pressing down into your forearms, pressing down into your feet, begin to lift up through the hips. And feeling as if somebody is drawing you up from your sternum. Keeping your breath flowing. A few more breaths here. See if you can lift a little higher, pressing down into your feet, lift the hips, engaging through the thighs and legs. And release the hands. And release your shoulders. So you're coming back to just neutral shoulder position. Begin to lower your spine to the floor, one vertebra at a time. The hips are the last to come down. Okay, take a breath here. Repeating that pose or option to come into wheel pose. So I like to go into wheel in stages. My spine is a little bit limited and troublesome, so it depends on the day of how things will go. Things that I like to do to modify my bridge that you might like to explore as well is to take my feet a bit wider apart, so as wide as the mat. That kind of gives me a little bit more space through the hips and lower back area. The other thing you can do is not start your bridge with your hands right under your shoulders because that's going to create a very strong back bend right from the get-go. So what you can do is walk your hands back a little away from your shoulders so that you've got plenty of space to move into the back bend and then gradually build in intensity of the angle of your spine by walking your hands in toward your feet. And one other thing to think about too is as you come into the lift, is to lift through the spine, but to press your chest over your hands. So rather than thinking about bending through the lower back area and jamming into those lower vertebra, try to create a long, elongated spine, and then moving the chest over the hands helps to create length from the lower back up the spine to the upper back. So you're pressing down strongly into your feet, and then you're sending your energy over your hands. Another nice modification too is to take a bolster under your feet, and that can give a little bit more ease and more freedom to work with the shoulders as opposed to sometimes we get a bit of a struggle even just getting up into the back bend. So, all right, let's go. I'm going to go hands to the floor and I'm going to come to the top of my head first and take a breath there before slowly moving up into a back bend. All right, so you got your own pace. Use your breath as a guide and listen to your body and have fun. And you can reverse out of it the same way you come up. It's like lowering the crown of your head to the floor. And then tucking the chin in, bringing the back of the head to the floor and slowly coming down. You can stay up as long as you like. I usually last about 5 breaths, 5 hurried breaths. So I'll do one more after this. Up to you guys if you just want to chill or go into another rep. When you have completed your bridges or your wheel poses, let's come straight into just a mini Shavasana. We're not quite done yet, but just giving your body time to assimilate and settle. Such an invigorating and energizing pose. Okay. Now, gently drawing in through your navel as you hug your knees into your chest. Make some small circles with your knees, massaging into your lower back area. Good. Come back to center, and you can either do hands behind the thighs or hands clasped in front. We're going to lift the forehead up toward the knees and lengthen your hips down toward the floor. So you're getting a gentle lengthening, a gentle flexion rounding through the spine to counter the strong back bend. Good. Slowly release. Arms down by your sides, gently rocking the knees from side to side. Just small movements. We'll do a spinal twist in a moment. Really just nurturing the back. Good. Taking hold of the soles of your feet to come into baby pose. Feeling your knees slide down alongside your ribs, thighs hugging in to the side body. Shoulders down away from your ears and press the feet down toward the floor until you get a nice stretch through the thighs and groin, lengthening your tailbone down toward the floor. Release, bringing your soles of your feet back together. Lower your left foot to the floor and cross your right leg over your left. So you're in a cross-legged position, and lower your knees over to the left as you turn to look to the right. Extending your right arm out to the side, turning your palm up, trying to relax completely. Relax through your hips and your belly. And drawing in through your navel, come back to center. Switching your legs over, right foot to the floor, left leg over, and carefully lower your legs over to the right, extending your left arm out and turning to look to the left. Draw in through your navel and come back to center. Unravel. Take any last stretches or movements that your body is craving, and then make yourself comfortable in Shavasana. Try to take something over your face to block out the light. Noticing how your mind and body feel after your practice. Sometimes I feel I have no words for how my body feels after my practice. It's just like a feeling, a smile, and I guess, gratitude. Letting the entire back of your body feel heavier and heavier, as if it's merging with the earth beneath you. And feeling the entire front of your body as if it's getting lighter and lighter, floating upwards into the sky above you. And I'll guide you through a relaxation. All you need to do is relax each body part as I mention it. Taking your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. Relax your toes, from your big toes to your little toes. Relax the soles of your feet and feel your heels getting heavier and heavier. Soften into your ankles and soften into your calf muscles, feeling your shin bones to be heavy. Relax your knees and all the tissues surrounding your knee joints. Relax your thighs, the tops of your thighs, your inner thighs and outer thighs, and your hamstrings. Relax your left hip and your right hip. Soften into your pelvis and feel the sides of your torso relaxing and softening as if they're melting down toward the floor. Begin to relax into your belly. Letting go of any tension that you might be unconsciously holding in your abdominal region. Just taking a few dedicated outward breaths to just let go through this area on a superficial level in your muscles, and then maybe moving into consciously relaxing into all the organs resting in this area of your body. Releasing any emotions that may be stored here. Just really giving your body permission to let go. And begin to relax into your chest, softening your lungs, your ribs, and all the muscles in between each rib. Softening into your heart center. And again, just seeing if you can let go of any tension or anything that you might be holding on to in this heart region. Moving upwards to the shoulders and feeling your collarbones broadening and releasing. Relax from the tops of your shoulders down and around your shoulder blades. Just letting go. Relax your upper arms, your elbows, and your forearms. Softening into your wrists and hands. Your fingers are gently curled. Becoming aware of the gentle prickling sensation circulating your palm. Evidence of the flow of prana and life force throughout your body. And then moving your awareness to your lower back. Feeling your sacrum broadening and releasing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Taking a few nourishing, appreciative breaths, flowing the breath up and down your spine, helping your spine to deeply relax. If your energy might be flowing more freely now after our practice through this central channel of the Sushumna, mode of goodness. Allowing your spine to relax completely. Feeling your head getting heavier and heavier. Softening into your face. Softening into your jaw. Your entire body is heavy and relaxed. You feel safe and warm. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Simply rest. Now, for today's practice, you can just continue laying where you are, soaking up the sacred sounds, just bringing these beautiful mantras in through your ears and down into your heart, and singing along as you feel comfortable. If you do sing, singing from your heart. Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana, 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 Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana. Now slowly starting to wake up your body by wriggling your fingers and toes and rocking your head from side to side. Next time you rock your head to the left, rolling your body to the left and just resting for a moment. And then taking your time to press yourself up to sit. And we'll close off our practice by bringing our hands together in prayer position in Anjali Mudra. And bowing our heads to offer our respects to each other. And bowing our heads once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul.